Every once in a while, the world of MMA delivers a moment so shocking, so unforgettable, it leaves fans' jaws on the floor. At UFC 196, with just 90 seconds left on the clock, Holm, the woman who sent Ronda Rousey to the Shadow Realm, was fighting for her life to keep consciousness in the octagon. But as the grip tightened around her neck, Holly went limp. The referee stepped in, and the underdog, who was never supposed to win, had just shocked the world.
So that victory, when Miesha Tate choked out Holly and Holly's punching in the air, like how dramatic is that? Going out cold, punching in the air while she's going out.
Miesha Tate's career wasn't an easy path. She began as a wrestler in high school, where she learned the grit and grind that would define her MMA career. By 2011, she captured the Strikeforce Women's Bantamweight title, putting her name on the map for women's MMA. But her rivalry with Ronda Rousey became her defining storyline, though not in the way she wanted. Ronda defeated Miesha in their first fight via armbar, a loss that haunted Tate. To add salt to the wound, when they rematched at UFC 168, history repeated itself. Tate fought valiantly, but was submitted again. Critics labelled her as second best, a fighter who could never win the big one. But Miesha refused to give up. As she said in an interview, "I've always been the kind of person who gets back up, no matter how many times I get knocked down." Miesha proved her words by showing the world exactly what she meant. After the disheartening repeated defeat against Rousey, she went on a 4-fight winning streak before she shocked the world with a win that nobody saw coming. Fast forward to March 5th, 2016. Holm was riding high after delivering the head kick heard around the world, dethroning Ronda Rousey at UFC 193. Holm's striking was a weapon, and she was a massive favourite heading into her first title defence against Miesha Tate. The media saw this as a mismatch. Holm's boxing and kickboxing background made her a nightmare for Tate, whose primary strength was grappling. Joe Rogan even said, "Holm is a precision striker. Miesha is going to have to eat some serious shots to get her to the ground." From the opening bell, Holm controlled the fight with her striking. She kept Tate at bay with jabs and movement, making it nearly impossible for the grappler to close the distance. But in the second round, Miesha found her opening. She took Holm down and dominated with ground control, showcasing her wrestling prowess. It was a glimmer of hope, but Holm adjusted in the following rounds, staying on the outside and racking up points with clean strikes. Holm was on the brink of her first title defence, and Tate's window to change the narrative was closing fast. She was down on every judge's scorecard. As Miesha sat on her stool in the corner before the bell rang, her team said one thing that stayed in her mind: "You need to finish this. There's no other way." Those words must have burned into Tate, because what happened next would shock the world of MMA. Round 5 brought forth the final chapter of one of the most dramatic fights in women's MMA history. Holm started the round sharp and elusive like always, dancing on the outside and peppering Tate with pinpoint strikes from the outside. It seemed that a surefire unanimous decision victory was right around the corner for the preacher's daughter. With less than 2 minutes left on the clock, Miesha saw her moment come in an instant. After Holm threw a slow 1-2 combo, she dipped under and scrambled for a takedown, clinging onto Holm with a desperate intensity. The only path for Holm way down. The crowd erupted. Tate slithered away to Holm's back before quickly locking in a tight rear naked choke. The crowd roared as Holm desperately tried to escape. She flipped Tate over her shoulder in a last-ditch effort, but Tate's grip only tightened. And then, the unthinkable happened. Holm went out cold, her body throwing dying punches to the wind as the referee jumped in. It was over. Miesha Tate was the new UFC Women's Bantamweight Champion for the first time in her life. Although Rousey had gotten the best of her twice, she won gold by defeating the woman who put Rousey to sleep. Amanda Nunes wiped the floor with all 3 of these fights, but that's a story for another day. The world of MMA spins in a sadistic circle of blood, violence, and unforgiving karma. And that's why we all keep coming back.